Hello everyone, welcome to Soul Seekers Tarot and your reading. I'm Corey. So in today's reading, we will be looking at what message Tarot will reveal to you today. What message does Tarot have for you today? All right, and this is the Oracle deck that we're going to use to get started, which is the Way of the Horse. And let's begin. Hope you're all doing well. Archangel Michael and the Holy Spirit are here, enveloping us in their beautiful angelic wings of love, light, protection, and guidance. Okay. So for pile 1, we have that one. Yeah, I was going to flip it, but I decided to get them all out first. Pile 2 and then pile 3. Okay. So what do we have that Tarot is going to reveal by way of the horse to start with? Pile 1, we have card 38, which is 11, which is a master number. It's a beautiful card. All right. Pile 2, we have card 9, which is the ending of something. So a new beginning to begin. And I see the horse's neck. It's like upside down. Or are we looking at this? We'll have to see. I think it might be 6. It might be 6. I'll check it out in the book. And then yeah, we got 2 horses. So I'm sort of thinking this is the right way up. Huh. Okay. And for pile 3, we have card 5, which is change. Another beautiful card. Okay. Let me look in the book first to make sure that card 6 is actually that direction. I'm pretty sure it is, but you just never know. Let's see. Card 6 is rivalry. Well, so I guess these two are like jostling, you know. They're actually having a little bit of an argument. Let's see what card 9 says, if it fits. Language of the breath. No, I don't think so. Let's see, it says, as the horse's breath moves out from her body, so does the wisdom of her heart. Number 6 says, 2 exquisite white horses are caught in the embrace of rivalry. Yeah, dust flying and mane swirling in the wake of a potential storm. They need only look around and within to realize that each has the power to enliven, protect, and nourish the other. Okay, lovely. I have a horse, and I had three thoroughbreds, and they stuck together like glue. They were the one that's still alive. The other 2, unfortunately, have passed away. The older ones, the oldest ones, which weren't much older than the one that's still alive. And she, being the youngest one, she was actually the boss of the group. She was a herd leader, besides myself, of course. They accepted me to be the herd leader, but she was the herd leader as just the horses in their little group, and she was the protector, especially of the one that was the next age up from her. Okay, so enough of that. Let's find out if it's not the card, the images, the color, the numbers, or anything that doesn't stand out for you to choose from. We will be choosing some dice numbers for you. Okay, so for pile 1, we have 5 and 6. Pile 2, we have 3 and 4. Okay, and 1 and 2 for pile 3. All right, so now because let's see, because these 2 add up to 3, you could also be interested in this pile as well as that. If 3 is a number that resonates with you. Okay, so with this, and it'll be for all the piles, you're either looking at the 5 or the 6, 3 or the 4, 1 or the 2, or it'd be 56 or 65, or if you add them together, 11. And so that would be 34 or 43. If you add them together, it's 7. And then, of course, this is 3, and it would be 12 or 21. Whatever numbers resonate for you, okay? Now, if it's not those, it's your zodiac sign that you might be choosing your pile with. So for 4 zodiacs for pile 1, 4 for pile 2, and 4 for pile 3. So well, for pile 1, we have got Pisces and Cancer, with Taurus and Gemini. Pile 2, we have Virgo and Aries, with Scorpio and Leo. And for pile 3, we have got Capricorn and Libra, with Sagittarius and Aquarius. All right. So those are the 3 piles for you to choose from for this this reading that has to do with what tarot will reveal to you today. Okay, so give yourself time, and we'll check in with you in just a minute. Okay. Hi, pile 1. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen this card, 38, which adds to 11 as a master number. We're going to read the meaning of this card, but you have a woman who is spending some, time around a black, looks like stallion horse. Okay, so if you did not choose this pile by the card itself, you might have used a number or a dice, whatever, and you somehow 5 or 6 resonated with you. And if it wasn't that number, it was 56, or it was 65, or 11 if you added the 2 together. And if it wasn't a number that resonated specifically for you, it might have been your zodiac sign that you're going after. So we have Gemini and Cancer, with Taurus and Pisces. Okay, so those are the zodiac signs that pertain to this reading. So let's have a look at what card number 38 says for you. And these are the rest of the decks that I've chosen for this reading. Let's get a little bit from card 38. What the tarot wants to reveal to you today. The Raza dance. So yeah, they're dancing around each other. The swirling of the energy there. They're dancing around each other. Let's see, it says authenticity in action, co-creation, and the music of connection. A swirl of energy connects 2 beings dancing in spontaneous flow. Freed from the limitations of species, roles, and expectations, they move in timeless communication, where thought becomes form and open hearts lead the dance. So the gift of this particular card is, here's where you put all the pieces together, where new concepts and conventional methods fuse and expand, creating unexpected possibilities. Authenticity in action draws our responsiveness, assertiveness, discernment, physical collection, mental and emotional agility, fluidity of consciousness, imagination, nonverbal communication, subtle body awareness, intuition, consensual leadership, and the paradox between boundaries and oneness. Wow, that's like this mastery of all this energy, really great energy, positive energy. The idea of the Raza dance came from an unexpected challenge. Early on, I was surprised to find that some students who assessed greater sensitivity, heart-based awareness, and intuition during a weekend workshop were virtually paralyzed when they returned home. Equestrians seemed to have the hardest time. They not only witnessed horses acting intelligently, these people experienced incidents where their four-legged facilitators taught profound lessons about life, love, and consciousness. Once certain riders and trainers realized that horses could be trusted to guide humans to greater balance and awareness, conventional concepts of riding and training felt like slave driving. These people weren't just motivated to sample the benefits of not doing. They suddenly found themselves stuck there, incapable of asking their mounts to do anything. So when you become one with your horse or any being, that's when the two of you do the dance, right? The horse, for example, is experiencing your flow and vice versa. And there's nothing that the two of you can't do. I have myself taken training and been certified in equine therapy, equine assisted psychotherapy, excuse me, where we utilize horses because of that intelligence that they have. They sense things that the rest of us don't. They sense what's really going on within us that we may not even know ourselves and others may not realize. So if you're paying attention and becoming more aware and intuitive, you will figure out what the horse is trying to tell you during these sessions of equine psychotherapy. So it's very, very interesting. But so this is what's going on here, is that you are possibly becoming more and more in tune with your flow, with the divine one within you, of course. Becoming more in tune with it and connecting with others at a level that either you are like feeling ill-equipped or kind of feeling a little bit threatened by, not threatened necessarily, but just unsure about, uncertain about. And if not that, you have this connection with other beings, and it doesn't have to be animals, it can be other people that you have empathic links to, that you feel like you're getting a lot of information that is obviously good for you, but it's time for you to process it so that you can really integrate it into your being, heal something as a result, and then raising your vibration so that you will be more of a receptacle for more that then gives, right? Okay, so receiving and giving. So let's start out with Major Arcana. That's a lot, so I'm just going to put them all back. Archangel Michael, what Major Arcana, what's to speak to this connection that pile 1 has established and is nurturing or about to? The Hierophant, well, that's great energy, really, really good energy. Let's see, the Hierophant, look to the support of a solid organization or structured principles to achieve success. Your actions should be motivated beyond selfish reasons, and I do believe that that's what's going on. You are feeling motivated to be a receptacle, but to give. Okay, let's get clarification from this little tarot card deck. For the Hierophant, please, Archangel Michael. Five of Discs, worry. And the Five of Coins, right? Five of Pentacles, worry. So that's kind of what I was saying before, is that you may be feeling overwhelmed or it's out of your league. Like you may not be feeling as though you're competent to make use of these types of connections that you're developing. that to trust them, that you may be feeling, you may be doubting them. And tarot is possibly trying to tell you that the worry of possibly being, you know, when I get into the zone of doing a reading, I have the hardest time trying to think of the words that I would normally just pop into my head. So that's why I'm coming up with this threatened part, you know. What is it? It's like you're feeling overwhelmed. You may be feeling like a fake or a fraud. A fraud because of the doubts that whatever information you're receiving, like insights, okay, intuition and insights, whatever you're receiving, you're not necessarily thinking that that is your spiritual guide, you know, your inner self calling to you, telling you. You may be thinking that it's just, you know, it's just your mind, you know, just coming up with thoughts of just random thoughts that really don't have any place in your life, in your relationships with others, including animals. So if you are developing a connection, let's say with an animal, your cat, your dog, your horse, your mouse, snake, whatever, you're developing a connection, you're realizing that they're saying something to you, that there is a communication going on between the two of you. The tarot is trying to tell you that it's something that you can trust. And as soon as you trust it, and even if you can't really do anything practical with the information, trust that it is nonetheless a connection that you have, and it's very real. Okay, because you are, with the worry or, you know, the doubts that you might have, you may very well be blocking, well, you will be really blocking that connection of having, you know, you might be thinking that this doesn't follow the norms or this doesn't follow the rules of what communication is in this world, so therefore it means nothing to me. It's just psychobabble, or it's just babble, you know, it's nonsense. You may be thinking that, but the structure is there for you to realize that there's a very real sense of this being real to you, a real sense that this is something that's for you. Well, let's just keep going. I have had this deck here. It's called the Angel Oracle deck. I've had it for 1,000,000 years. Yes, I'm that old. I've had it for 1,000,000 years. It's actually my very first Oracle deck from way back then. So I've had it for a long time and used it quite extensively and took very good care of it. So let's find out which angel is speaking to you. We have trust. Perfect. The angel of trust. And this is what the angel of trust says. I trust in the divine power of goodness and love to protect and guide me. That's what you know, they want you to be saying to yourself. The angel is whispering to you to know that you can trust the divine power of goodness and love to protect and guide you. And so this connection that you have, whatever you're finding the connection with, could be another human being, or like telepathically, or just intuitively, you kind of have these connections where you might be thinking of them and they call you. And because you know what you did is you picked up on them thinking of you. You see? And that's why you were thinking of them, and that's why they're ringing. They're ringing you, and so forth and so on. So let's get whatever this one is. I don't know. Yeah, it has something to do with the archetypes. Let's get an archetype. Okay, yeah, this one wants to fall out. We have got the Storm. All right, the Storm. Card number, what is that? 10 and 50 or 150? I don't know. 10 and 50 and then 5 and 7. What is that? Is that, I don't know. I really don't. The Roman numerals. 10 and 50. Let's find out if I can find it in the book. 10 and 50. It's the storm. I know this comes up in sections. Let's find out what this section is. The storm, the storm, storm. The storm, forest, the tools, the storm, card 200, or page 200. Is that what that? No, it's not. Page 200 is the storm. Now, I don't know what the number is. I really don't. So when light, it's meaningful, is meaningful obliteration and annihilation. Wow. Meaningful, though, obliteration and annihilation. Going deeper is the tornado scene in The Wizard of Oz. Reich's the man watching. Okay, well, I don't know how. Okay, let's have a look at this. It says, the storm's intention is to rebalance your equilibrium. It is a result of precarious conditions, not the cause of them. Okay, so maybe, you know, your dance that you've been feeling may have been a little bit off balance, like kind of like if you were drunk, right? You were just not really knowing that you can be in sync, but it's there's just so much doubt about it. There's just so much I'm not clear. What does this mean? Does it have any meaning? Is it meaningful to me? Is this real? You know, what I'm receiving for information, what I'm intuiting, whatever, is this real, or is it just my imagination? Well, to be true, it is your imagination, but it's the imagination that we use to connect to that inner being for that information and guidance. So you may be feeling like you're off balance by the being not, let's just put it this way. If sometime when you're really not thinking about it much and suddenly you get an intuitive hit and it's very clear to you, let's just say one time it was just so clear to you and you're just going, holy cow, that did happen. It was precognition kind of thing. Maybe you know, you had a hit, intuitive hit, and then after something happened that made it look and showed you that it was real to you, the information that you'd gotten was real, the guidance, you start doubting it. You're thinking, oh, it was just, you know, it was just one of those things, likely never happen again kind of thing. So, you know, you're moving in and out of this and that, and you're never really, it gets to the point where you're trying to make it happen and it doesn't happen, and then you start having more and more doubts about the reality of it. You're just not trusting it, right? You're not trusting it enough. So I wanted to read, I know I kind of get ahead of myself here. I wanted to read the trust, the angel of trust. I gotta find it first. Angel of trust. You didn't know. 30. Angel of trust. Yeah, good luck. Let's see, Corey's got to find this angel of trust. Angel. Oh my goodness. Let's see, angel of trust. Here we go. Oh, thank goodness. All right. Angel of trust is represented holding the stole. A stole, right? I guess you would put over your shoulders. Which it uses as a blindfold. Oh, okay. When we are blindfolded, we have to trust in ourselves and in God, knowing that we are protected by the guardian angels whose hands reach out to us across the gulf of time and worldly matters to offer goodness freely. So it's like the veil, right? That's across everyone's eyes, mind, that causes us to, in order for us to benefit from what's on the other side, we have to tap into our imagination and trust that what we get from across the veil is true for you. So to open your hearts and minds to trusting in the goodness of life, it can help us learn to trust ourselves, learn to trust in life itself and all it has to offer us, learning to trust other people too. The angel of trust works with our higher self to help us express and develop a trusting attitude towards life. This trust can manifest itself when we are caught on the fence, torn between being negative, cynical, and destructive, and wishing to be positive and believe that our highest good and greatest joy are being fulfilled. Yeah. Okay. The angel offers us the essential love of spirit we need in order to trust and be truly life-affirming. Trust can make all the difference in the qualitative experiences of our life. To be able to trust is an essential ingredient in happiness and ease. Otherwise, our energy will be tied up with suspicion, doubt, and fear. Trust gives us the courage to move forward or take risks that we would not be able to take if we lacked this one component vital to growth and spirituality. So they're saying, allow what is unclear to you to be revealed to you, unclear to you to be revealed to you, and to allow yourself to trust in this reveal. Otherwise, it's going to be, it's like the back and forth, or the dance, the back and forth where we go from receiving and trusting to doubting, and that's the energy you're putting out then. So possessing an energy much like Tarot's Tower card, the storm undoes all that is. Everything that was solid, known, and relied upon is stripped away by the winds of fate. The ground becomes the sky becomes the center, and then the center disappears. The storm is the great equalizer. No matter how far we've come on the path, no matter our age, wealth, or wisdom, we can't hide from its savage winds. These disturbing howls stir anxiety and make it impossible to see and think straight. You must wait it out. If you try to fight the storm, like I was saying, if you try to make something happen, try to get yourself connected through like sheer will kind of thing, without actually connecting with your inner will, your inner wisdom, it's gonna thrash you around. You're gonna know whether what's up, what way is up, kind of thing, what way is down. Confused and frustrated. If you try to fight the storm, you will lose. A better option is to seek temporary shelter and a reliable friend. When all else fails, go within. There, for a moment, you settle into the eye of the storm. Yeah, so settle into the eye of the storm by going within, and even maybe conversing, having a talk with a friend to help help you bring some understanding or clarity or resolve or calm back into your energy, so that you can get rebalanced, and stand very, very solid on a foundation of I'm going to try this again. I'm going to try to approach what I receive with open-mindedness and to trust what I receive. I'm going to try it. Try again. Okay, so let's get one more oracle. Pink Moon, number 29, which is another 11. Your tongue will illuminate the spaces within your thoughts that need evolving. I've had that card before. Your tongue will illuminate the spaces. Will illuminate the spaces within your thoughts that need evolving. Yeah, I think I argued with myself about that one too. It's kind of like at first I'm thinking has to do with your tongue is going to reveal what it is that needs to be evolved in your thinking. All right? That's what I first thought, but I'm not too sure if that's right. This card guides you to bring illumination to your situation. Your thoughts and words are powerful and can support a journey of remarkable achievement, or they can become roadblocks, like this blockage to your higher self, to the divine. All right. You have the ability to reroute the streams of your consciousness, creating fresh, empowering thoughts and beliefs. Embrace the transformative practice of introspection, for in these moments of quiet reflection, you will lay the foundation for profound evolution. This card encourages you to release the outdated patterns and beliefs that are depleting your confidence and growth. So the doubt and worry, which is that worry, right? The doubt and worry that what you are experiencing, mind-wise, physical-wise, like whatever's being revealed to you or you're experiencing, maybe you have visions, that it's all part and parcel of your evolution. So it's real. The only person who can ensure a positive solution to your question is you, of course. So the keywords is inner reflection, establishing new neural pathways, and look closely. A lovely soul dances up a staircase. Yeah, okay. So new neural pathways. So if we're experiencing what we're experiencing right now as a result of what our neural pathways in our brain, those connections, the synaptic connections, the neuronal connections of beliefs that we have established throughout our time so far up to this day, right? That is what the energy from our brain and the rest of our body and organs is going out to the universe, that is attracting our life experience as a result of our beliefs, our thoughts. When we decide to change our mind about some things, to nurture trust and belief in something bigger, much bigger and beyond us, that is actually communicating to us 100% of the time. When we start establishing that and putting some belief in it, then we start becoming more clear. And the clarity comes from you developing new neuronal connections in your brain because you're thinking differently. So therefore, the old connections that would have you thinking one way are breaking away from each other, and they're searching for something, because there's more in your brain, they're searching for something that's more like itself. And so it's swimming all around, and it's, in the brain, whatever. It's swimming around looking, and suddenly it just goes, whoop. Okay, now we are attached, making synaptic, synaptics, whatever it is. And that's the energy now that's going out. So you've changed your mind, even if it's just tweaked it just a little bit, you're actually creating a new connection in your brain. Connections, okay, in your brain. Your brain becomes different. It's evolving. Your brain is evolving as a result of your decision, your choices of wanting to think differently. So you feed your life experiences through what you decide to believe in, because that then creates those connections in your brain that then feeds the energy through the rest of your body that goes out, that the universe brings forward that which is attracted. Like attracts like. Okay, that's the law of the universe. Law of attraction. Okay, let's get some more. Let's see what tarot is really trying to reveal to you with all this oracle information. Well, we've got some tarot information right here, which seems to be perfect for this horse, way of the horse message. Okay, so we have the Ten of Cups. That's emotional happiness. Like the best, the biggest, the most intense emotional happiness. The Knight of Wands, a lot of happiness, like a lot of spontaneity, a lot of, giddy up and go, feeling very inspired and motivated. With the Death card. Okay. The Five of Swords. The Three of Swords. Okay. The Four of Swords. Contemplation. Boy, lots of swords. The Star card. That is a wish come true, as you know. With the Knight of Swords. Wow. Some truth coming in that you're going to be able to manifest something. And we'll look at the back of the deck in a minute. But what I'm seeing here, right off the bat, is that there was an emotional connection that you had, like marriage, partnership, family, that kind of thing. Something that was had begun as love and great happiness. Emotional fulfillment went sour, began to go sour as a result of someone's being spontaneous, irresponsible, impulsive, a wandering eye, just having a little bit too much fun outside of the family unit, outside of the marriage, outside of the partnership. Then death comes along, and it is like it's a transformation. What happened is that this here, what was good in the beginning, that started going sour, whoever, I mean, takes two to tango, okay? There was some kind of connection that you were feeling. There, some guidance was coming to you about something that was going on behind your back that you didn't necessarily maybe wanted to believe, but it eventually became to the point where it was like, it was in your face. It was in your face. You couldn't deny it any longer. And you started to feel like you couldn't trust this person anymore, and maybe you can't trust love. Maybe you couldn't trust love. Love's not for me because look what it's done to me, and so there's this death of this whole trusting in this relationship, trusting in this person. There's a death to that, and it's now opening you up to a transformation. It's major death and transformation, right? Major death of something. It's an old way of leaving, but you're going through this. You're going through this transformation, right? Evolution of pain that's causing you opening up. It's you, like the pain that has been caused by this to that part of you, the one that wanted to be in love and give love and receive love and be happily ever after, Ten of Cups. That the pain of that dissolving or breaking up because of somebody having done something to cause that to happen, it's opening you up. It's like making you raw and vulnerable. It's like you are feeling like you've been stabbed in the heart, that your whole belief in the idea of happily ever after has been it has been destroyed, sabotaged, destroyed in your mind, in your heart, in your beliefs. All you're feeling is raw and brokenhearted, right? With the Three of Swords, been stabbed in the heart. Three of Swords. It's left you in a point where you need to have, you're feeling like you're overwhelmed, don't know what to do. You're feeling that there's something that's cracked open in you, but you don't know what to do with it. And you're being asked to take a respite, like take some time to heal. There's a time for you to heal, because there is a wish that's already in your vortex. It's already, you know, on your path towards you. You just got to get yourself into an energy of being able to, because if you can see, there are 3 swords in the 4 of Swords, right? That's the heartache of the 4 of Swords. That's why you lay it down. Lay yourself down. Try to find some solace in the pain that you have been experiencing, so that you feel strong enough to get up then and grab that last sword right there. That is going to help you to lead yourself through the transformation to your truth. Your truth, which is whatever wish come true for you, is going to make you sing like a little birdie that's happy first thing in the morning. If that's whatever it is, there's a wish and the healing. The Star card is about a wish granted and healing taking place. Yeah, you're feeling you're getting that balance, right? The Star card, you're getting the balance of a wish, like the transformation is causing you to find balance in your mind, that then, you know, you are prepared for whatever information that you're going to be receiving. And I would say that is this intuition that we're talking about, the connection that you have to the divine, and, you know, through the beings, okay? Through the horse, the cat, the dog, through the person, a relationship, through whatever, even yourself, through the relationship you have with your inner self. You have this connection with the divine that was being blocked, probably because of the turmoil that you had been going through here. Okay, the turmoil and destruction of this particular area of your life. Right? And it started to make you not trust. It started to move you away from being able to trust that love is for you, to trust love, the love of someone else. You were definitely going through this storm, which is like the tower, they said in the tarot. Going through the storm, you are realizing that what it is that you have been thinking is something that you've got to bring balance to, because otherwise the energy that you're putting out is those thoughts need to evolve so that you can, you know, be an open channel to the divine's truth, your truth, so that you can become the master manifester. Remember, you're 11 and 11. This is master numbers. You're becoming a master manifester. You'll be manifesting love in your life. Because of the trust you're starting to develop and establish and nurture in this relationship you have with your inner being, with God, whatever you call it, okay? And then, what? The back of the deck is the near future. Back of the deck is got the Empress, the Knight of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, and the Six of Cups. And then we're going to have leave with the the Eight of Wands. So, Empress, look at you, manifesting good, manifesting all things beautiful and abundant, feeling good again, but on your own, like not as in a couple, in a partnership. Now that's going to come, but this is like you stepping into this higher evolved energy of I've made it through the storm. I've transformed that what I was what pain I was experiencing. I've allowed myself to begin to release it here, to follow my truth. My truth is the North Star, right? Following your North Star. Following your star, which is your destiny to all good things, which starts with you. Like with the Knight of Swords, is like, this is coming in fast. fast and furious. And I don't mean in an angry way. Fast and, just fast. Fast and a lot of fast moving energy, a lot of fast moving information that you're going to be able to put to use because you are open. You've cracked open through this pain, cracked yourself open, became more vulnerable, which actually, when you become more vulnerable, you become more connected with your inner self, because your inner self lives through vulnerability. The vulnerability is a good thing, as long as you're in the mind, a balanced mind of being vulnerable and open to receive and to give without worrying, without worrying that I'm going to be taken advantage of. But you have that trust that if you are open to receive love, that if you were to give love in return, that you are going to be okay. Even if that person at some point, or the situation that you're involved in that you're giving your energy of love to, turns out to not really be a good fit for you afterwards, you're okay. Like it's as though you come away with a mental understanding, a mental emotional understanding. You've evolved that was just another stepping stone, that the whole, whatever it was you're giving your love to, the person or situation, organization, whatever it is, right? Group, think, whatever. It was just a necessary step on your path to evolution, to go higher and higher. That it wasn't about it taking something away from you. In fact, what seems to come into your life and then drop off, it actually came into life. It did what it needed to do for you, as long as you were open to receive, to do for you, that you learned something from it. Even if you're not quite conscious of it just yet, you've gotten something from it. There was a gem of whatever, a gem of evolution in there for you, of truth, right? And you are now sitting in a much better position than you were before you came across this relationship, across this situation. You have, even though it might feel as though somebody or something's leaving your life, they've left something behind for you that is so much more valuable than the relationship itself. Okay, does that make sense? And this is why you're sitting in the energy of the Empress. You begin to acquire the abundance of energy, of these little nuggets of wisdom and those gems that are hidden from things that come into your life but leave. And then something else, it's because it makes room for, when it leaves, it makes room for something else to come into your life that's going to help you grow even more. And so it's going to happen. You're going to be sitting in this energy that you're a master manifester as an Empress, being highly connected to your North Star destiny through your relationship with your inner being. Excuse me. So you're going to be taking this energy with you, slowly moving out of the energy of leaving something behind, the burdens of the past, or even the most recent past, like I was talking about, be something that you're going to move into, but it's going to end with the 10. So it's ending, but you're going through it in an energy of, I am, this is my destiny, this is my path. I'm on my way and I'm doing it methodically. It's going to lead to success because I'm going to release the burdens of the past. That's one thing I have learned to do throughout this whole process of coming through something that was very painful for you and having that transformation. You're learning that in order for you to follow your North Star, to have your dream life come true for you, however way that looks to you, you have to let go of something. That you must drop the past and move forward after a time of realizing what you need to do. There is going to be a time of, as an Empress in manifesting energy, you're taking things one step at a time. You're not racing forward. You have grown to the point where you're realizing that all good things come to those who wait. All good things come to those who take things, slowly, not impulsively like this kind of energy, right? So what you're doing is you're shedding the past with the Six of Cups. You're shedding the past so that you can be open to what's to come. The past is something that you need to let go of. Here, you're doing this slowly as an Empress who is a master manifester, and now what happens, it opens up new avenues to more communication, of course. Communication with who? Well, with anybody that is going to be able to make you feel that you are on the path to your destiny. You're still walking that path. So it's like you gotta let go of the past, and you will be letting go of the past. You'll be dropping the burdens of that, which it could also be seen as you are going to see the past, someone from the past that you've known for quite some time, maybe when you were kids, but somebody from your past is going to reach out and they're going to communicate with you. You're going to be communicating back and forth quite quickly, but it's going to be like a communication that's going to be, motivating, desirable, because it's the wands, right? So there is going to be a lot of passion in your near future when you decide that it's time to let go of the pain, rest so that you can follow your truth, having opened up your heart, your vulnerability to receiving love, and to being able to turn what was something that was took your trust away to become more open to trust by developing, establishing a relationship, a really connected relationship where you are dancing in the flow with your inner being, trusting that whatever you're receiving of higher knowledge is not something you want to block through doubt and worry. It's something that you want to nurture. You want to nurture this and realize that whatever it is that you might have for doubts with the pink moon energy, have for doubts that you're not trusting in the communication, the guidance, the intuition hits, whatever. It's like whatever your doubts are is what's going to continue to, like I said, with the neuronal connections. If you don't start changing your mind about placing your trust in that there's a higher plan because as a result of this pain, there's a higher plan for you. So that's going to open you up if you but allow it and trust it to do so, that it's going to change your life in very marvelous ways, wonderful ways, that if you don't allow those connections to break away from old belief patterns and allow the new connections to come in, your life will not be like this. You have to allow yourself to change your mind about what's happened to you here in this scenario for yourself. That it was a necessary part of your evolutionary movement forward to having the best life that you deserve to have, everybody deserves to have. It was a necessary evolution for you. It needed to evolve through what is no longer right for you, no longer good for you. It has to go away. And it's not just that it's gonna drop away and you have nothing to say about it. It's that you're allowing it to go. You're allowing it to leave your life. So whatever baggage you may be like is in pain, and those thoughts and beliefs about what happened, this person did in this, what should have been a happily ever after for you, you have to start letting that go, allowing them to be transformed, those beliefs to be transformed, right? So this is what I got for you, pile one. I hope this was helpful, and take care of yourself. Bye for now. Hi, pile two. Welcome to your reading. So you've chosen this card, the rivalry card, the challenge, with card number 6. It has to do with love, family, and number 6 does. Maybe there's some kind of argument going on or disagreement between you and a loved one. Now, if your intuition didn't use it to choose this card, your number with the dice did. So 3 or 4 resonated with you, 34, 43, or 7 if you add them together. Excuse me, I've had a coughing spell, so please bear with me. Now, if it wasn't that, is your zodiac sign. So then we have Scorpio and Leo with Virgo and Aries, right? Okay. So I'm going to read, excuse me, The Way of the Horse one for you. And we had just briefly touched on it in the introduction because I didn't know which way the card was supposed to go. Excuse me. And so, what do you got here? Rivalry. Fear, aggression, competition for limited resources, and moving beyond survival. 2 exquisite white horses are caught in the embrace of rivalry. Dust flying and manes swirling in the wake of a potential storm. They need only look around and within to realize that each has the power to enliven, protect, and nourish the other. Rivalry provokes new heights of mastery. Yeah. Wonderful. In sports, in business, in art, and in life, mature competitors who understand that the call to excel is ultimately within the self can benefit from the reflection, inspiration, and camaraderie the other provides. So the challenge is, when the world is perceived as an endless fight for limited resources, the promise of self-improvement gives way to fear, aggression. Everybody loses. So when we step into fear because we're afraid we're not going to have enough, or not going to be able to get what we feel we deserve, the fear grips us, and it suppresses our inner being, which of course is fairness and love and knowing everything's okay, that there'll be enough for everybody. The fiercest rivalries involve closely matched peers. Science seems to clinch the deal with Darwinian notions of survival of the fittest related to a perceived lack of resources like food, sex, and territory, or like less concrete forms of power, attention, or influence. Conditioned from birth to excel at vertical relationships, we simply don't get much practice in sharing power with equals. The rules seem to so much clearer when we win the role of authority figure or defer, even grudgingly, to someone else's distinction as leader, teacher, celebrity, or boss. Every person undoubtedly has some gifts, resources, or areas of expertise the other secretly admires or would like to develop more fully in herself. Potential rivals who opt to share information and support each other in developing their unique talents and dreams have successfully moved from a survival mindset, perpetually competing for limited resources. To thrive is to trust wholeheartedly in the limitless creativity of the human spirit and the abundance of life. The transition from competition to cooperation, however, is fraught with difficulty, a sort of 3 steps forward, 1 step back phenomenon, where 2 people find moments of understanding mixed with critical, fear-based exchanges. So yeah, compassion for the others and one's own, compassion for yourself, vulnerabilities and reactive patterns is essential. So compassion and understanding. For self, and others. So why for self? Because we're afraid. We're afraid. So we have to come to terms with, why are we afraid? Why am I afraid? Why am I afraid and acting this way? Why am I afraid and reacting this way? Keep doing it over and over again. So we want to find out what the tarot will reveal to you today about this. Okay, so that there is that to understand that whatever is up for grabs, that the two, there's two or more challenged and struggling with being the one on top, the winner of it, is that it's possibly that this is what's going on, is that you're going to be moving through this energy of fear-based, feeling as though you're going to lose or not, benefit in some way. Okay, Archangel Mike, Holy Spirit, we're gonna straighten out this energy, aren't we? Yeah. So there might be a loved one, family, or love, partnership kind of thing that is challenging you right now, in making you feel as though you're losing out, you're losing, and they're winning, and you're losing, they're gaining. Strength. Okay, perfect. Here we are, said Rabbit very slowly and carefully, all of us. And then suddenly we wake up one morning, and what do we find? We find a strange animal among us. So we seek courage. It's a subtle power. Integration of animal self. Wow. Talk about, finding the courage to know that no one really loses. No one really wins or gains when someone loses, right? And the the unseen energy of spirit is trying to teach us that we don't really ever lose. We don't ever lose. What's for us always comes back around. Always. This gets clarification for strength. 4 of Wands. All right, that's coming together. It's uniting. It's constructing. It's building or whatever. 4 of Wands could be like a house, but just whatever house means to you. This deck right here, I've had for a very long time. It was my very first deck. Oracle, which is the angels. This is Angel Oracle. So let's pull one angel card out. The essence of love. 6, love. Let love be the center of your life. Of my life, it says. Let love be the center of my life. Okay, that's pretty straightforward, right? The essence of love, the angel of the essence of love. Loving is trusting and knowing that no one ever really loses. The Cobra. I can't wait to read that one. Cobra. The Cobra, which is the diamond, the triangle is on the upward way, so it's at the back. Yep. Okay. Panther. No, these are not in alphabetical order once you get to their section. Which would be really nice if they did. Cobra. Okay, pausing, waiting. It's the inner teacher. The Cobra represents a teacher or a spiritual guardian. The Cobra hovers and watches. Okay. Ever present, ever protecting. Interesting. This is about protecting here, right? It said the south. What was it? Protecting. I have no idea now. It may have been the card that I read for the Way of the Horse. So, ever present, ever protecting, ever loving. The essence of the cobra is found deep within us in the form of the inner teacher. Love, right? The essence of love, the inner teacher. It says, what are you ready to learn? Remember the old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. What would it feel like to be a student again? So when you're in balance, a student of life, you become humble and wise. When you're not in balance, it's a know-it-all and egocentric. To bring into balance, we're taking a class, we're studying. Okay. We're learning. We're open to learning, right? Learning a new way, new beliefs, a new way of being, a new way of thinking. All right, let's get the witches. Wisdom of the witches, which is, what's it called? This is the season of the witches. Yeah, season of the witches. Season of the witches. What do we have? Yay, country cottage. Card 7, which is, you know, your spiritual number, heaven. It is time for the seeker to look within. Oh my God, what haunts you can only be faced by you. Looking within, the cobra, the inward teacher. The teacher, the cobra. The inner teacher. Love, that being love. Love is what we want to really teach us. We have come into a world where we have seen and heard and been taught so much that has to do with not trusting love, right? And it's set us up for a life of, you know, situations that break our hearts and teach us to not trust love, that love is real, that love is for us. So we look for it outside of us instead of inwardly, and thinking that we need someone else or something else to make us feel worthy and loved. When it really is not the exterior circumstance, it's the interior circumstance that we really need to be looking at to nurture and allow it to rise up within us so that we can feel that inner love, that inner knowing, that inner intelligence, that trusting that this unseen being that we are, the soul that we are, which is God, is reaching and speaking to us, reaching out to us and speaking to us through everything, including those difficult situations. The strength is that when we reach into that inner being for the help and the guidance, to help relieve, to help heal pain, to have those connections with others, that you can trust, and it's going to be benevolent and kind, compassionate, right? Compassionate, you will begin to understand that you need to have compassion for yourself, not just for the other. So it's time for the seeker, that's you, to look within. What haunts you can only be faced by you. That's country cottage energy. All right, let's get some tarot to find out what it is that the tarot wants you to know today. Archangel Michael, Holy Spirit, what does the tarot want? Pile 2 to know today. All right. Let love be the center of my life. We have the Knight of Wands. That came up in pile 1. Knight of Wands. The Empress, that also came up in pile 1. The Tower, that came up in pile 1. Okay. The Tower. The Eight of Wands, that too did come up. Two of Cups, that did not come up. Okay, Two of Cups. Six of Swords. Nine of Wands. Seven of Swords. Eesh. And the Five of Pentacles. Then we'll have the bottom of the deck for the near future. We'll look at that in a moment. I want to look at this essence of love. The essence of love. The angel of the essence of love. can I find it? It's not that easy to find this book, I must say. I wish it were easier. So just bear with me. Essence, miracle of love. Essence of love. Thank goodness. Okay. The eye, the symbol. Eye. Oh, it's right up here. Right above her head. The eye, the symbol for the heaven of paradise, casts radiant beams throughout the universe. The line symbolizes, this is a line right here in that what looks like a disc. Okay, the line symbolizes the fire and passion that love can stir in us. This passion is seen throughout creation, which is here symbolized by the moon and the stars, which is here through creation, right? Which is here symbolized by the moon and stars. The fiery winged wheels, right there, these ones, are the symbol of the seraphim, which is love, right? It says, this is angel, the heaven of paradise, protecting the essence of love. Gifts for earth. It can help you to realize that at your core, you are love. Experience love in all things. Share the essence of your being with others through compassion and understanding yourself first. The angel of the essence of love helps us to strip off the mask of illusion and see that love is the essence of all things, of all life. This angel works to help us unfold from the limited cocoon of our ego and be the magnificent creatures of light that we are. When we have penetrated the illusions of personality and the destructive nature of negativity, we realize that what we are at our core is a fountain of love. This love lives at the center of every living cell in our body and in the heart of all living things. The consciousness of what we are made permeates all other living substance too. So everything around us, because it's all atomic, right? It's all atoms. It's all energy. It's all spirit. It's the ectoplasma. It's the ethereal, whatever, that when we look like we are a separate body from another, we're actually connected through all these ectoplasmic spiritual atoms. Okay, so there really is no separation between my body and another person's body. We're all one. We're all connected. Okay, so the consciousness of which we are made permeates all other living substance too. Our own sweet essence is the same as the universal essence of love, which unites us and bonds us intimately with the source. So as we open our hearts to the love within us, we find that the essence of love is the basic and fundamental substance of life, that etheric, right, that we don't see. Without it, nothing could grow or flourish, and life would cease to exist. The angel of the essence of love carefully guards this substance within each of us. When we choose to live from this space, we are given untold treasures in the shape of experiences which acknowledge to us that love is who we are. That's beautiful. Okay. So what we got here is you being asked to see this, whatever your competition is, the rivalry, the challenge that you're going through with somebody. It might not even be that you actually have an argument or a disagreement that's acknowledged between you and this person. It's just that you're seeing it that way. You're seeing that you have a disagreement. There's something that about whatever it is that the two of you don't see eye to eye on, and you may or may not have actually said, we're not seeing eye to eye on this. I don't believe you, or I don't see that what you're doing is right, and so forth and so on. So if whether it's like verbalized or non-verbalized, something that you're just thinking about or something you've actually had a discussion with or argument with the other person. Doesn't matter. What it matters is that you're thinking that there is confrontation, that there is, you know, the threat of you not coming out on top, you not, you know, that you losing in some way. That you're lacking in some way. And it's the fear that has been taught and basically inbred in us from beginning, that, you know, we have to be the one on top, that we have to be the one who wins, that if we don't win, we're nothing, that we're unworthy, that if you're not successful, then you must be unsuccessful, right? A loser, right? If you're not a winner, you're a loser. And even though people may not actually say that, have said that to you, it's just what has been taught to us. Okay, that we have come to interpret our situations from that viewpoint, from that perspective. So what life has not taught us is to disregard what other people who are living from fear, from that same kind of perspective and belief system, to not pay attention to that, but rather go within, you know, to where your truth and to live in compassion and loving understanding about who you really are, so that you can live a life of peace and happiness. Peace and happiness and success, of course, right? So what the tarot is trying to reveal to you today is that you have a lot of passion. You have the desire to possibly be maybe a little impulsive, but you have the desire to go for it, to grab the brass ring, to reach for the brass ring, and you know, that you are you're feeling pulled to reach for the stars, so to speak, let's just say. But there is something that life is not in your corner. You're feeling like life is just not in your corner right now. That that this Empress energy, it's calling to you to get in touch with your inner core, of course, the love that's within you. However, you may be feeling as though what lot in life that you have now is possibly stifling you, like keeping you you know, in this box, you know, keeping you from going and doing the things that you want to do in your life, being who you want to be. That right now maybe the Empress in you is really a mother, a wife, okay? At the very least a wife, but you could also be a mother. That perhaps the life that you had hoped to live, you know, the time before you became a mother or a mother, was exciting. It was an exciting life for you. And then you stepped into that role, and now you're feeling as though you're kind of trapped. You know, like this Rapunzel, let down your long hair. She's at the top of the tower, right? And she can't come out because there's no way out for her. There isn't. The prince has to climb up from her hair, using her hair, long hair, to go and free her. But in the meantime, the tower is crumbling. So what is happening is that whatever your situation is, it's like you're trying to sort of stretch your wings and not just be a mom wife all the time, but to be able to make something exciting again in your life. And maybe you're feeling a little too humdrum. Life is a little too humdrum, and this is conflictual to you because you love your kids. You have a good life. You know, you're well taken care of. Maybe you work. You might work too, right? That on the surface, things look good, but underneath, you're feeling disheartened, dissent. You know, you're just feeling maybe resentment. Maybe it's that fear. It's all fear. It's all fear. Anything that is negative is just like the umbrella of negativity. The name is fear. The umbrella of all things good and love is love. So you have been looking outside of yourself, maybe remembering a time in your life where you're a little bit footloose and fancy free, that you enjoyed life, not being so strapped or tied down, that you are looking at that. See how you're looking at that? Maybe nostalgically thinking, I wish I could have those days back. But, you know, with my kids, you know, with feeling secure and safe in my commitment that I have with another person, or maybe you're not in a relationship with another person. But what is happening is there's an inner evolution happening within you, pile 2, that is asking you to find courage to rebuild a foundation that reunites you with your inner being, with the 4 of Wands. That inner, you don't have to be childless or wifeless, let's say, right? You don't have to be single and footloose, fancy free to have passionate pursuits, to build a foundation that has to do with, you know, passion and desire, because that's the Wands, right? Passion and desire to feel like you're alive again, that you're not just stuck in a box, you're trapped in a life of responsibility, let's say. Responsibility and routine, especially if you've got kids. You gotta have a routine. Or you got a job that you go to 8 hours a day. There's a routine 5 days a week. And then the weekend really becomes a routine as well. But you don't have to live your life in conflict with it. You don't have to live in conflict with your own life. What you do is that what the Tarot's trying to tell you to do is to open up communication with the love for yourself, love for your other, and find an emotional release. It's a slow release, okay? The 6 of Swords, moving from emotional, imbalance to emotional balance. A slow release, and letting go of feeling like you are, stuck in a life that is just, full of limits, responsibilities, so forth and so on, that you are, you may be a single mother, that you have a lot of things to be responsible for, a lot of things to have to take care of and keep an eye out for. And you need to be a mother and a father to your kids, or you just have a lot of burdens with the 9 of Wands, a lot of burdens with life in general. Going to work, being a mom, taking care of home, house, and everything, that you just feel sometimes overwhelmed, mentally, emotionally overwhelmed. That's why they have the Band-Aid around their head, because it's a mental, emotional burden as well as physical. All you want to do is you want to steal away with the 7 of Swords. That's what you want to do. You want to steal away the 7 of Swords and break out. Break out of feeling like you are being limited, stuck in that box of responsibility and routine, that you can't just live without having to, let's say, explain to somebody why you want to do something, why you want to go somewhere. Answer to somebody when you do something and do go somewhere, that when you come home or come back, that you have to say, oh yeah, they'll say, well, where were you? Well, I was blah, 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 blah. You'd like to just be able to come in and be able to sit there and think about what you just been doing, and or even if it's not something that you maybe had to go to a parent-teacher meeting, and you just want to be able to come home and put your feet up and relax, but you can't, because somebody's going to call, maybe your mother, sister, brother, whatever. They would say, how did that parent teacher, so you got to talk to them about it and explain what your kid is, what the teacher's been saying about your kids. Or you got a partner that wants to know, because they couldn't go, they were at work. So you went. And now you've got to go through the whole explaining it to them, reporting to them what you found out. And all you want to do is put your feet up and relax. You just went to this meeting, or you were at work and had to go to the meeting, and now you're home, and you would just love to be able to put your feet up and relax, but you've got this, that, and the other thing to do, because you got kids and you got meals, and you got to get them ready for school the next day, and get yourself ready, and bath time and all that sort of stuff, right? So you want to steal away. You want to be able to regain this kind of excitement of not being so responsible all the time. Excitement, breaking out. See, like they're breaking out of being like on the being left out of being impulsive, being irresponsible, being just flying by the seat of your pants energy. Like life has become too mechanical, too routine for you. So let's find out what your near future is. We've got the Five of Wands, which is that conflict, okay? The Nine of Pentacles, you know what that is, right? That's pre-Empress energy. That's feeling pretty good. It's being independent. Good life. Ace of Swords, that is a new path for you, walking in your truth, which is, what is it that you desire? What do you desire? King of Swords and the Emperor. With the Lovers, oh my God. Eight of Pentacles, yeah. Okay, we'll put that on the peripheral. We don't necessarily need it. Okay, wow, it looks good, guys. Pile 2 looks really, really good. So you're gonna have this, you're gonna have this inner battle, okay? Conflict with someone else, somebody who wants you to be responsible and reliable and routine and all this sort of stuff. Could be your kids, or it's just yourself arguing with yourself about it. Because you've been this way, and you've done it for a reason. For one reason or another, you have become somebody who is responsible, reliable, and routine. Okay, but you've done it for a reason, and that meant that you felt like it meant that you had to sacrifice what life was like for you before all this responsibility. So you're going to be in conflict about the evolution of it, moving out of it. The Eight of Wands is fast-moving energy after the Tower comes down. This whole idea that you cannot live a life of passionate desire, excitement, impulsivity, irresponsibility. You're going to, that whole mindset about that, perception of it, you're going to start seeing it differently. It's going to come down, the whole mindset. You're going to be changing your mind about it. You're going to be tapping into your strength. You're going to be allowing a teacher, the inner teacher of love, for you to find compassion within your situation, within yourself. You may have been berating yourself or beating yourself up for having put yourself in this kind of responsible box. Okay? You may be saying, oh, if I hadn't done that, or I was so, this, that, and the other thing. Beating yourself up for the choices you've made in your life that's got you to where you are. That's going to be breaking down, because you may be actually, the tarot is telling you that you may be actually turning inward to find the strength to go after what it is that you want to experience. This is not the end of your life. It's not the end of your life being in that responsible routine box-like life experience, and that's not where you're meant to end your life. You're meant to enjoy your life, love your life, have fun, but be responsible at the same time. You just need to find that balance, that really important balance. So there is going to be conflict within you, because you're going to be moving some energy. You're going to be talking to possibly the person that you're in love with about your feelings of not, if you're just, maybe you're a homebody because of all your responsibilities, you may be talking to them, passionately explaining yourself, saying, look, I need something more. I need something more. This is not enough for me. I need something more. And if it's not someone that you're in love with in the relationship, or in your relationship with, it's going to be somebody that you're going to be speaking to about that. Having a conversation with the Eight of Wands, with somebody that is on your radar. You're on their radar, and you're going to be moving from that emotional turmoil, moving from that, rough waters to calmer waters, emotional waters, right? You're going to be moving from that, because you're going to have, someone's going to be listening to you. You'll be heard. Someone's going to see you. The tower is bringing that in. The tower is bringing it in so that you're going to be listened to. But you have to listen to yourself first. You've allowed yourself to teach you what it is that you need to know in order for you to be able to face the changes and challenges that your own thinking about it, your own perception about what you've been allowing yourself to do and what you haven't been allowing yourself to do. And why? There's that fear, right? Why have you been in conflict with yourself about this or others? That you might be talking to your mom, or saying like, yeah, I love my kids, I love my blah 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 blah, blah my life, my partner, blah, 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 but I just feel so hemmed in. Your mother might be saying, well, that's the choices you made, like moms can do, right? My mother might be saying, well, there's a lot of honor in what it is that you're doing as a mother and a wife, and blah blah blah. There's a lot of honor, and these are the choices you made. I mean, if you still wanted to live footloose and fancy free, you shouldn't have made those choices, right? You shouldn't have got pregnant. It's stuff like mothers do. They bring reality. Too close for comfort, yes. So anyways, you are going to be talking to somebody that either you're in a relationship now, or you will be meeting with somebody, because the towers come down. This person's going to be hearing you, listening to you. All right? And you're going to start feeling heard, and because you have actually started listening, finding the strength to build a connection with your own voice, your own inner voice that you need to be listening to, so that you can unburden yourself and make your escape and break out of the limiting beliefs that you've been having that actually has physically and practically hemmed you in. That's the way you're seeing it, you're perceiving it, which is, the inner conflict that you have within yourself. you're going to be breaking out of that, and you're going to be feeling like you've had this like huge weight lifted off you. You're going to be feeling the release. Look at this guy. He's just kind of hanging out with his dragon. There's a bunch of dragons flying around. They're in some kind of fantasy land, but they're doing good. They're enjoying their time together and in their environment. And this is where you're going. That's where you're headed. Not literally to hang out with a dragon, but you know what I'm saying. Ace of Swords, following the new path that's offered to you. You get out of your conflict with someone or without someone within yourself, okay? Start to heal the conflict, the inner conflict, by listening to what it is that your inner being wants for you. Your inner being can only do for you that you're open to go along with, to go with the flow, right? So you have this, the divine, your inner being, has this new path available to you, path of truth. Your truth is that you don't want to just be limited in the energy of I am, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm or a single mom, and I'm a worker, I'm somebody's daughter and somebody's sister, that kind of thing. You've hemmed yourself in, but honestly, this is societal teachings, right? You've been hemmed in to particular roles in your life, and it's kind of like you squelch the fire within through all the decisions, the choices to make to be in these particular roles, to agree to be in these roles, that you feel like the fire within you has been put out. Yeah, but you're going to be following your truth. The fire within you is the love that's going to help you live your life, teach you how to live your life as though you are, burden-free and feeling like you have all the resources that you need to follow that path. And this could be following the path to somebody here that is in the King of Swords energy, or you're going to be meeting up with somebody who's in the King of Swords energy that's going to help you, guide you in some way, in a practical sense, worldly sense, that you're going to meet this person who's going to seem like they are up in their head all the time. But that is going to actually guide you to, this person is going to, Ace of Swords, this new path, I'm just trying to get some hits on this. The Ace of Swords is a new path that is going to have you, okay, he said, Archangel Michael, he said, if you're in a relationship with someone and it's not working for you, you're going to be seeking separation from that with the King of Swords. Because the King of Swords is like cutting a relationship away, cutting something out of your life. And it may be like a lawyer, okay? But in any case, you're going to be seeking the truth by cutting something out of your life, which then is going to, you're going to find the balance between the Empress and Emperor, or it's going to be that you are going to be meeting somebody who is husband material, or it's going to be your husband that you are in a relationship with. They are going to be helping you to cut away thoughts, the belief systems with the swords, right? The beliefs, the thoughts that has you feeling stuck, in this limiting box of beliefs that you've hemmed yourself into. And this is your husband is helping you with that. And as a result, you find that even with the love of the help of somebody, whether it's a new person or somebody you're going to come into to meet, that's going to be your emperor, that is going to help guide you to living your truth, living your truth with this new life, the Ace of Swords, new path, that you are going to know that the love that you have for yourself, however, the love that you have in this relationship with this other person, is going to allow you to be free. To be free with a dragon, right? The dragon is passion. Fiery, right? So the dragon is passion, and then it flies. So you're going to feel like to be in love with somebody, to be in a relationship with somebody, doesn't necessarily have to mean only to your own perceptions. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to follow, take part in, to drink the waters of this kind of energy. Again, to be living the life of enjoyment. Good times, happiness, freedom, spontaneity. Now, things are not spontaneous enough for you. They're going to be. You're going to have choices. You can make choices, and the love of this person that you're either going to meet or you're with right now is going to help you see that you can make different choices that's going to set you free. Okay, so it's like the King of Swords, this new path of truth here, the Ace of Swords, that you are setting out on, opening up to independently, because you have independently went independently inward to allow love to speak your truth to you. And that allows another to hear you, whether they're a new person, someone you've been with. It's like you become anchored in love, becoming anchored in compassion and understanding for yourself, that the choices and decisions you made did not really, in reality, it did not imprison you from a life of spontaneity and enjoyment. It didn't. You just started to believe that it did. That was your lot in life, and look where you are now, and this is what I am. These are my roles, and I agree to this, that you're coming to terms with the truth about these things, that you're realizing if you agree to this, you can agree to something else. And that's coming to an understanding that love wants to teach you how to be free and in love with your life, as opposed to feeling like you are stuck and in a routine that is, that's all you get. You might be feeling you might have been feeling that's all I get. It's all I get. You just been, constant conflict, rivalry with what your heart's desire is. Your heart is saying no. You aren't, you aren't stuck. Yes, you are free. You just have to believe. Believe, listen, and believe. Find the strength to make that connection and make it strong, so that what you're seeking for is not going to haunt you. It says here, it's time for the seeker to look within, because what haunts you can only be faced by you. So if you feel like you're hemmed in, and that it's because of the choices, decisions, the roles that you've accepted to be in your life now, this one here is going to challenge you to see it differently. That even though you're a mom, wife, whatever, you can still enjoy your life. You just have to start to learn to listen to your heart's desires, that then others start listening to you too. And they give you a hand. They reach you, they help you walk your path of your truth, by cutting out the thoughts and beliefs, the King of Swords, the thoughts and beliefs that you have been so like hanging on to for dear life, that this is my lot, this is, you know, this is it, this is the way it is, I guess just have to accept it, it's the way it is. And they're going to help you see that you can be the boss of your own domain, your own life. You can, really. And the choices that you make, that someone else is going to help you see that the love that you have for yourself, which enables the love you have and the respect and admiration of in a relationship with someone else, it's going to set you free. Truly going to set you free. The lovers. So I hope that this was clear to you. It was like, this is what the tarot wants to reveal to you, is that it's up to you. It's up to you to reach within and to start breaking down the barriers. The barriers, you know, those four walls, those belief systems in your brain, in your mind, that keeps you feeling like you're hemmed in, you're stuck. That this is it. This is all it is. See, and this is how you'll live out the rest of your life. That the time that went by where you were really feeling free and passionate and just having a lot of fun and doing exciting things, going to exciting places, meeting exciting people, that's all in the past. Like, you may believe, you know, well, that's over with. This is what I am now. You reach within to yourself and say, pose the question, is this the truth about me? Is this the truth about my life? And if you're honestly listening, you're going to hear your divine say, no. It's what you are and have become, but it's not the end of it. You can be whatever more. You can add on to yourself. It's not like you're not addable. You're not someone who can be added to. You can add on to yourself if you but believe that you are you're worthy, that you're free to do so, that you don't have to just be stuck in into roles that lead to routine and, you know, day in, day out stuff it's just all about being responsible and caring for others. That you need to realize that it's about caring for your heart's desires, what you really love, that you love about yourself, and express that. Express it. And this one that you're going to express it to is going to help you to realize it. So pile 2, I hope that was helpful. Take care of yourself. Bye for now. Hi pile 3, welcome to your reading. So you've chosen card number 5. With this card here, I can't remember what it was when I looked at the book, but we'll figure it out right away. So if you did not choose this pile by the image, colors, the card, whatever, you might have been drawn to a number from the dice, either 1 or 2 or ace or 2. Could be 12 or 21, or if you added it up to 3. And if it wasn't a number from the dice, it was your zodiac sign. So what we have here is Libra and Capricorn with Aquarius and Sagittarius. Okay. So let's get into the reading. Let's find out what this card is about. It's 5. It's about changes for sure, because that's the number energy. Changes. It's the Way of the Horse is the name of the deck. And let's see, dominance. Okay, that card means dominance. So entitlement, adolescent authority. Interesting. Leadership based on control. Ears pinned. Yeah, see how the ears they are perked and they're standing straight up. Listening, right? Ears pinned and mouth open. A finely trained horse struggles with his rider's expectations. A loosening of the reins now and then helps both members of this team reach a long overdue compromise. So the rider is being fairly rigid, expecting exactly what it is the rider wants, as opposed to working with the horse and being one with the horse's energy, which you will find in the other two readings from pile 1 and 2. The gift of this is when you're in a position of power, learning to use your talents to benefit both self and community becomes one of life's grand adventures. The challenge is to become addicted to control is a common adolescent blunder and the ultimate potential downfall of all great leaders. So you may have been feeling, either you had maybe pile 3 had a lot of where you were given a lot of freedom, basically, to do what you want when you want it, that sort of thing. So you might have felt like you're in control of your life with being a teenager and all your peers, but most specifically over your parents' wishes and expectations. Or you were somebody who didn't have a lot of freedom, and you felt like you were maybe an overbearing mother or a very, really, really, really strict father. You might have felt powerless to some degree. Either one, I would say. So throughout history, the image of a man on a horse has symbolized the intellectual and moral superiority of the mind ruling the animal passions of body. Here the horse represents instinct, emotion, and intuition, qualities most of us were taught to rein in and spur on like an unruly 3-year-old stud. The rider personifies the intellect, will, and focus, capable of civilizing this wild power, directing it to accomplish certain tasks as needed. Yet a horse subdued through dominance without regard for the animal's own unique intelligence and sensitivity becomes an unreliable mount, capable of panicking and throwing the rider in a crisis, as surely as our own instincts and emotions are prone to do when we develop an over-reliance on rigid control, perpetually ignoring the needs of body, heart, and soul. So it says parents are naturally dominant over children because they know how to obtain and manipulate basic resources for family survival. And I would also add to that's because they're older, right? Live more life. A CEO is dominant over his employees because he has the authority to expand or shut down the company. It's just a simple fact of life that anyone who owns or manages anything, land, houses, horses, apartment complex, kingdoms, or copyrights, wields a certain power over others. Problems arise when the knowledge that you have control leads to. Problems arise when the knowledge that you have control, okay, just the knowledge that you have the control, leads to an overwhelming addiction to control. When someone feels the need to dominate, especially through force and intimidation, chances are that he or she is inexperienced in the nuances of more mature forms of leadership. So, let's see here, what else it's got to say. Let's see, young dominator, stallions. Even baboons. Dominance may be a hard to break habit, but it's not necessarily hardwired. Primatologists have found that a lesser known species of ape known as the bonobo can claim just as much kinship to humans as the chimp. Yet the bonobo prefers cooperative, conciliatory behavior. The females generally step forward to greet potential rivals with affectionate, wow, isn't that neat, peacemaking gestures, and will often interpose themselves between males escalating toward a fight. Peace-loving bonobos. The zoologist Franz de Waal calls it survival of the kindest. Okay, very interesting. Related wisdom. Lion heart, in a silent way, the herd, and Raza dance. We've seen the Raza dance. That was in, was that pile 1? Okay, so 2 collaboration. So assertiveness without aggression, leading by example, consensual leadership, and true collaboration. Well, isn't that interesting? So we might have for pile 3 either feeling like you've been being dominated, over controlled, or being the more aggressor one. Okay, so what does the tarot want you to know? What message will the tarot reveal to you today? So these are the decks that I have chosen for this reading. Pile 3. Archangel Michael, Holy Spirit, thank you for being here. Thank you for enveloping us in your beautiful angelic wings of light, love, protection, and guidance. Please guide and assist me today with correctly interpreting the energies of the cards that I pull as directed by you, starting with this Major Arcana deck. Thank you. Justice, the Tay-wise rune. Justice. That's my cat meow in the background. He's happy. So, what does it say? Upright attitude, clarity, truth, transparency, cause and effect. Well, that's a really good card. So if you're in a position where you need someone to become agreeable, or like I said, someone's been over dominating you, justice prevails. So let's get clarification for the justice card, please, Archangel Michael. Ace of Pentacles. Wow. So that's a new beginning. It could be like moving on, relocating, moving on. But it's definitely about what I saw in this. When I put this down like this, I suddenly seen control. That the pentacle appeared to me as being a form of control. And is it not really in everyone's life to some degree, right? Money, wealth, pentacle. So some kind of control. Somebody's trying to take control of your resources. Somebody's trying to dominate and has been dominating your resources, taking control over you by using like manipulation through the resources. So, for example, just simple example, like you're a wife and you stay at home and you have a husband who works, and he gives you just an allowance, and if you need more than that, you have to ask for it, and chances are you may not even get it. So it's a way of your spouse to keep control over your activities and making sure that you are dependent on them. That is more of a, you're watching TV kind of Hollywood scenario, but I'm sure it happens. Okay, so that's just one example. How that could be used as control over something, the money, the wealth. And justice, that's not just, right? That's unfairness. Okay, so this oracle deck, which is called the Angel Oracle, is the very first oracle deck I got a long time ago. So let's find out what angel wants to speak to this. The guardian angel of young love. I accept love with gratitude. I am open and made whole by its beauty. Interesting. We'll get some information on that. Young love, essence of love. It's not that easy to find the card, the information in this book, the actual angel, because it doesn't have it like that in the whatever you call it. Whatever you call it, yeah. Angel, the guardian angel. I know it has guardian angels in this section, which starts at page 30. So that'll be helpful. Young love, here we go. Okay, This angel holds a pair of lovebirds right there. Is that you and your person? It protects the first bloom of love. It blesses our period so that we may express the love in our hearts. It encourages us to be respectful of our bodies and be gentle with our feelings so that our first experience of love is beautiful. So trying to remember possibly why you are together in order to be able to be forgiving and accepting, which can change another person. Angelic function, to protect all who fall in love. Gifts for earth, it can help you to value your sexuality and honor it with love. Cherish and gifts of love and an open heart. Love and respect your own tenderness. Wow, this was speaking to me about this pentacle as being a form of control. So it may not be just money, or it may not be money at all. It may be some kind of other, like sexuality, that maybe your person likes to love bomb you with gifts whenever they are in like the doghouse with you, trying to get you to see their way with the justice and forgive them and allow them to be in your life, kind of thing, to not be mad at them. Love and respect your own tender feelings. This is the guardian angel who watches over young love and helps give new and tender relationships their beauty and sweetness. It is also the angel who helps us to feel safe in a relationship, and it enables us to trust in our ability to express thoughts and feelings openly and freely. This angel assists you to enhance our self-worth and encourages intimacy with people who value us and who see our light and beauty. We ask this angel to bless us and protect us from people who are damaging and manipulative, right? Wow. And this one here, you know, manipulating through rigidity and expectations. That poor horse, you know, you feel sorry for the horse. Okay, so damaging and manipulative who are unable to share themselves in an open or honest way. We can ask this angel to support us when we feel vulnerable and insecure, and to assist us when we meet someone we would like to bond with. It can help us to take risks with someone we sense is worthwhile, but who may be shy or reserved. Okay. This guardian angel is guiding you to individuals, towards potential partners, helping them to feel attracted to the very people who will respect their individuality and safely allow you to express their true sense of self in a kind and gentle manner. In this angel who looks over and guides us towards making healthy friendships, which will give us deep and lasting happiness. We can pray to the guardian angel of love whenever we enter into a relationship and need help and assurance that it is for our highest good. We can call upon, and when I said the highest good, again, this card, the image of this card just flashed into my mind, because this is the promise. This is a divine promise of a new path for you, but it also can be seen as that form of control that somebody is having over you, trying to manipulate you. So it says, enter into a relationship and need help and assurance that is for our highest good. We can call it, which is justice, right? The highest good, the pentacle, that new beginning of great big blessings, of prosperity and abundance. And they come in, it's not just financial that prosperity and abundance show up, but blessings, you know, blessings are divine help. So we can call upon the angel whenever our present relationships are stuck or stale and need revitalizing. This is the guardian angel who blesses and renews the spirit of love and loving sexuality within us. We ask it to protect and guard our most intimate relationships and to keep the bonds of love secure from negative forces which may be excluding, separating, or in any way attempting to place a wedge in our most cherished friendships. Okay. Oh, that was a lot of information to go from. So it's either you're either in a brand new relationship that you may be feeling like things are not on equal foundation, like equal footing kind of thing. That they somehow are trying to manipulate when you see them, what you do with them, and of course whether or not they're gonna be happy about you not spending time with them because you're out with your friends or spending time on your own. And they may be trying to woo you over, win you over, but in a way that just feels like the rider on the horse, right? The horse is feeling as though its energy, its sensitivity and intuition is being like smashed or ignored and not valued by the rider. And so with this horse, it may eventually just react and buck this guy off, this guy or girl off, because they've had enough, right? They've had enough. You're not listening to me. We're not working together. All you want is what you want, kind of thing. So if you're not in a young love, you are in a relationship, partnership with somebody that you may need to, especially if you don't want to not be with them, you may need to ask the guardian angel of young love to help renew and revitalize this, like bring your hearts back, your minds and hearts back to the time when you first got together, when things were sweet and sensitive, so that your person and you can revel in that again and reignite the passions and the truth that each of you have to say to each other about your recent conflict, right? Your recent conflicts or long time conflicts, whatever. Or you are going to be praying to the guardian angel of young love to help you to meet, to leave something behind, to meet somebody who will respect and value you and your love, the way you are. Okay, very good. Boy, my cat sure is having something to say. Fuddy. Yeah, he's not listening. So we got 28. I know that number. 28, the shadow. Ha, the shadow. The shadow. Where's that little book? A shadow. Your person may be exhibiting what is your shadow side. And for that reason, we then have to go within and pray for you. That's not it. Pray for you to be able to integrate and accept and forgive your shadow side. Okay, so when it's in the light, we're revealing unconscious aspects of the self and world. When it's in the dark, it's denying unconscious aspects of the self and the world. Well, yeah. Going deep, you're owning your own shadow. There you go. Contemplate the following scientific observations. The older an object, a person, place, or community is to the light, the longer the shadow it's cast. Did not know that. Contemplate the following scientific observation. The closer an object is to the light, the longer the shadow is cast. So yeah, when you're, if you're seeking your spirituality, in the shadow of the gods are the very gods themselves. Reflect on the statement by James Hillman in A Blue Fire. What do you despise about yourself? By answering, you move toward shadow. I know this one is actually speaking to me. Isn't that my zodiac signs in this one too? Sagittarius. Very interesting. Okay, so the person you're with, if there's things about the person you're with that you don't like, or it's frustrating or annoys you, or you just want to throw in the towel because they just don't seem to be able to get it, You've maybe something like you told them the umpteenth time to pick up their socks. I don't know. I'm just coming up with something. Pick up their socks, and they do, and then they don't, and then they do, and then they don't, and then they don't, don't, you know, that kind of thing. And you're just like very, very frustrated, just like this horse. They're exerting their own will over what your will would be. So who's right, right? That's why it creates a shadow. It creates a shadow that we want to exert our will, like the horse may want to exert its will by kicking the rider off. They might want to be exerting their will by going against what it is your wishes are and doing things their way. And so you may be feeling at times that you're not with the right person because this is just too hard. It's too tough being with this person. It's annoying. Sometimes you feel like you just wish you could be at home without them around. That they would just go away. Just go away. Or you leave and, you leave for a while and you just don't want to come back because you know they're going to be there. But it's not like you don't love them. It's just that you don't love the things they do or that they don't do that you'd want them to do. I'm hearing you. Yeah, so it's the unspeakable, the unwelcomed, the denied. Okay, so I would say if just something that just stands out as obvious is that someone is trying to impose their will by, going against what your wishes are, whether it's consciously done or unconsciously done. I'd want to stop and say, well, that's their will. So if I feel like they are trying to control our experiences, like the way we experience our home life together, they're trying to control through their own ways, right? Even though you're against it. Not everything that they do, right? But just there's certain things that just are aggravating, and it could be the money, that they spend a lot of money, and then there's not much left over by pay period, if there's anything left at all, and you're trying to get to reel them in on spending too much money. At one time, my husband, every time he spent money, it was on groceries, which is a good thing, right? Don't get me wrong. It's a good thing he's spending it on groceries and not gambling or cigarettes, or because he didn't do any of that stuff. But he would spend so much money on groceries that it would leave us wanting by the time our pay period come up. And at that time, he was getting paid once a month. And it was difficult to be able to, budget over 4 weeks, over a whole month. And then when he'd get paid, for the first week or so, he would be buying groceries. And it was like emptying out the account. And it was like, well, he was buying groceries mostly for himself, things that he wanted. And every time he went out, he would buy groceries. It was crazy stuff like that, and that would be so annoying because I say, you don't need all these groceries. What do you need all these groceries for? And why do you keep emptying the account out? Because you're spending money at the grocery store. The grocery store is very happy that you show up, but what about us? The rest of us, myself and my daughter. So anyways, those things. But he doesn't do stuff like that anymore. But it could be that you're in this situation like that they're spending money that maybe you feel like you don't have to give, even though it's in the account, but it may be needed to put on an extra payment on a credit card or something like that. Who knows? Loan payment. Or they are manipulating your will by taking control of the resources. Okay, so if they're trying to, trying to flex their will in the relationship as a response or a reaction to what you are trying to help them change and do, right? It comes down to then whose will is the right will. Whose will is it that should be the way things are done, or, you know, followed. Whose will should be followed. So that's the shadow. That's the shadow. It's like no one's right, no one's wrong. So it's something that you've got to look at that might be within yourself that you don't like about the other person. So whatever's going on with the other person, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like literal that they spend too much money, so it must mean I spend too much money. No, because that doesn't really make sense, right? It's just like they are whatever it is that they're trying to fill, the void they're trying to fill through buying groceries. What is it about you that you're trying to, you know, trying to address, or that you deny, or that you're not even aware of? So those are the shadow things that you have to kind of dig down deep inside yourself, your subconscious mind, and look at seeing what is it that they're doing that you don't like, if you got an emotional response to anything, it means it's because there's something in you, whether you're conscious of it or not, irregardless of your conscious of it or not, it's in there somewhere, in some way, some understanding. You'd have to be able to look at, dig deep, and be brave about it. So by rejecting parts of ourselves and the world, we begin to separate from the whole. So if we're rejecting, you know, we pull back our love, you know, our acceptance and unconditional love from someone because they're not behaving in the way that you would want them behave. It is like it's a rejection of ourselves, you know. So by rejecting parts of ourselves and the world, we begin to separate from the whole. Rather than getting to know the qualities and content of our shadow, we busy ourselves with avoiding its presence. This is denial. When this card appears, it is time to take inventory of those things you've been denying. When the mind responds with no, anything but that, you are touching shadow. So no, anything but that. So no, it can't be. Like I'm mad at them because they're spending too much money. Well, right away you think, well, I'm mad at them for spending too much money. And that's not something that's in me because I don't spend too much money. I'm trying to save money. That's where you've got to go a little bit deeper down, a few more layers of what it is that's really, is it like they are, because you've brought this subject up many times, let's say, for example, you've brought this subject up many times with them. What, you know, I don't want you going, you know, every chance you get to the grocery store and buy more groceries, but they do anyways. That itself is like you feel maybe like you're being disrespected, not valued, that your idea of taking care of a household by not spending all the money on things that not necessarily needed is not being valued. So that is something that you would then be able to look at and say, oh, well, what is it about me that I don't value, that I'm not respecting myself in some way, that this person is actually modeling, you know, reflecting that to you through their behaviors. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's very, very possible. It says, this is denial. When this card appears, it is time to take inventory of those things you've been denying. When the mind responds with no, anything but that, no, I don't spend a lot of money. So it's not because it's in me that I'm upset with them about spending money. Then you know you are touching a shadow. Find support for this deep inner work and move towards the shadow with patience and compassion. Yeah, so if you're in a denial about, you know, because you're just not looking deep enough, deep layers enough, because we are very complex. Our psyche, human psyche, is very complex, layer upon layer upon layer upon layer upon layer, that things are so deep down inside we just don't understand. But these emotional, negative emotional things, they rise up irregardless if we understand it or not, and they are presented to us usually through a person, and usually through an intimate relationship. Usually through the person in your intimate relationship. So if we're having problems with someone in our intimate relationships, and I'm there with you, then it's about looking deeper within yourself to find out what it is that, what is it really that's bugging you about this person. They seem to be, this is just the example, they seem to be disregarding my wishes, which can be explained as, it can be defined as being disrespecting, or that they don't value you enough, or they don't love you enough to want to do what you're asking them to do. Do you love yourself enough? What is there in some area of your life that's obviously very important that you may not be seeing, that you're not respecting about yourself? Not finding yourself worthy enough, that you are inviting or attracting someone who wants to show you from love, from a higher level, not at this 3D physical level, this human being level, not at this level, but at a higher level that they may not even be aware of, and likely aren't, but they are responding to you because they love you at the higher level unconditionally, and so they behave in a way that would force you, or should force you, into looking at what it is that you're not loving about yourself. At the higher level, we love each other so much, it's crazy love, right? Unconditional love. But at this level, it doesn't look like it. But irregardless, at that higher level, every soul that's in our life is trying to help us heal what it is that we don't like about ourselves, so that we can be happy and balanced and prosperous. Because everybody wants that. Everybody wants to be like that in this life as a human being. But we got so much baggage sometimes, and that's in those layers in the subconscious mind. Okay, so that's just something that you may need to look at, right? So here, let's find out what the witches have to say. Keening, card 29, which is 11. Hold on for just a moment in time, acknowledging before release and liberating what needs to be free. Okay, so look at something, hold on to it for a bit so that you can maybe brew up some, look at her. Screaming, keening, so that you can brew up, like let it bubble up to an understanding, so that you can acknowledge it, then release it, liberating it and yourself from what needs to be freed. Wow, these speak to each other, all these cards do. So let's get this card and have a little look at it. Keening. Keywords: releasing sorrow and grief, expressing emotions. Hold on for just a moment in time, acknowledging before release and liberating what needs to be freed. Keening is a Gaelic and Celtic tradition of releasing grief for the dead through an intense wail. That's why she's, bellowing. Wailing. Although death wailing is a practice that is observed by many indigenous cultures, and especially in the Americas, Asia, and Africa, mourning whales served many purposes, including showing respect for the dead and releasing sorrow. Showing respect for yourself, so that you can release the sorrows that cause you to see the very things in another person that is mirroring back to you what it is that you need to see, so that you can acknowledge it and release it and be free, healed. Pulling this card is a sign that you or the person you have asked about is not communicating effectively. There may also be a lack of respect or connection between those involved with your question. It isn't fair to expect someone to understand how you feel if you don't share your thoughts and emotions. And this card suggests your situation will not change as long as you keep quiet. This is not the time to take a passive position. Express how you feel and make your demands, frustrations, and desires known. Oh my God. If your question is about career or money, then receiving this card can mean it's time to ask for a raise or promotion. But it can also mean demanding more respect from your colleagues or your intimate partner, even your kids for that matter. Additionally, this card may be guiding you to speak up for a worthwhile cause. Wow, I mean, it just can't be any better. What this card's meaning, how it fits with this whole so far, this reading without the tarot. Well, this tarot, but you know what I'm saying. Wow, so the tarot is trying to reveal to you that even though you may have talked to them the umpteenth time about picking up their socks or buying groceries, spending too much money, right, between pay periods. It's about going deeper first within yourself to find out, like I was saying, find out what it is. You see that it feels like, to you, it might feel like they're being very disrespectful because they're not following your wishes, and you have good intentions. You're trying to keep the household above water, right? By not overspending. You're trying to keep the household clean by your person picking up their dirty, stinky socks and putting them in the laundry space. You know, so it's good intentions. However, they're not. And so to you, it's like, it could be like they are raining on my parade. And why are they doing this? They obviously either don't love me enough, or they're disrespecting me on purpose. They're being willful on purpose. They're being spiteful. Okay, I'm just not going to do what you want me to do. They don't value how that makes me feel when they don't do what I want to do. So they must not value me. They don't see value in me as their partner. You know, all that sort of thing. So you go deeper into your shadow about that, because then you say, well, how is it that I'm not valuing myself? How is it that I'm not loving myself enough? How is it that I don't see myself worthy of whatever? How is it that I'm not respecting myself? And when you come to some kind of aha or realization about that, then talk to them about it. Come to a conversation about that. So for example, it could be like you sit down with them, you say, look, you know how I feel about you spending all this extra money? That yes, it's in the account. Obviously it's in the account, or else you wouldn't be able to spend it. But we may need that to add to our next pay period, because we have this bill that's going to be coming due, and we're going to be shorter than I want to be. I was hoping to put a little bit more on the loan, so we can get that thing paid off sooner, right? And you know, so you explain to them you got good intentions as to why you're asking them not to keep spending money on groceries, but you're going to say, I realize that it gets my goat. You know, I feel, you know, I want to withdraw my love, my attention, and good, you know, loving feelings towards you, because I'm mad at you. I'm mad at you that you're not following what I've asked you to do. And you say, I realize that you behaving as though you don't respect my wishes, that there's something deep within me that I'm not respecting about myself. Therefore, I was hoping that you would help me to come to terms with that, to understand it better by talking to you about this again. But from this strategy, instead, talking to you about it from a truth realized strategy, that there's something in me that they are demonstrating, mirroring to me, that I need to look at and release and heal, so that I can be free and I won't be withholding my love from them anymore, or my friendship from them anymore. I would like to talk to you about that and be honest and say, I believe there's something in me that you are reflecting. And that is why I get so upset and I withdraw from you. Okay, so something like that. So you want to engage them in a conversation about you say, I'd like to talk to you about something, And it's going to start with, you know, you sit down and say, you know, this is starting with the thing that, you know, I've asked you not to spend this money, and you're still doing that. However, I want to talk to you about it in a slightly different way. And they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah. All right, so that's what you'd want to do. I'm not saying you're going to be successful the first time, but you could be, and you won't be if you don't try it. Okay, let's see what Tarot has to say. And my cat is finally silent. Oh, you want to come out, do you? Okay, we got the Page of Pentacles. That is making an offer. That's like a friendship. This is like an offer of, you know, like the olive branch thing. Extending an olive branch, like she's doing. He's doing, extending an olive branch, but through an offer of communication, offer of goodwill, intention. There's the pentacle, right? Offer of good intentions. Offer of blessing, a blessing. I want to bless our relationship. Let's see, we got the Knight of Pentacles. Slow and steady, but wins the race. Two of Wands. Looking at which way is the better way to approach this. You know, you have choices. You can do it, or you can do it differently, or you can continue doing it the same way, which is insanity, of course, right? As they say, we continue to do the same thing, hoping for a different outcome. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles. Looking back at the past, which would be relating to this young love, I would suspect. The Queen of Wands, that's you. Okay. Three of Swords. Yeah, it's been a heartbreak for you. Eight of Pentacles, you've been working hard with good intentions, right? Knight of Swords, so you're going to be speaking your truth, coming forward fast and furious, and I don't mean furious as in mad. The High Priestess. No longer keeping secrets, being intuitive to realize that this is a shadow thing that's showing up in your life. Okay, and then we have the back of the deck is to be the near future, which is the Five of Swords, doing whatever it takes. The Four of Cups, with what you're dealt with. The Knight of Wands, it's because there's been a whole lot of what do you call it? Irresponsibility and spontaneity, especially on their part, whatever they're doing that's bothering you, but justice is coming in. Yeah. Justice is coming in. It's going to feel like things are not really changing too quickly, because, I mean, it takes people. Because if they're not respecting you, there's something about them that they're not respecting about themselves too. So you're not only teaching yourself something, you're pointing out something to them, and that they need to look at, and they may be in denial about it. Then there's the Five of Cups, but then there's the Emperor. Okay. It looks like that olive branch, have good intentions. You're going to be like, I am the type of person who's committed. Okay, I'm committed to this, whatever, our relationship. I'm committed. I will take things slow with you. I realize that this is the better choice of the two, to have this conversation with you as I'm dealing with my shadow, my own shadow. I am looking back at the past and remembering what it is that I loved about our relationship, about us, and how tender and beautiful things were back then when we seemed to be respecting each other. I'm the Queen of Wands, and I'm intent on fighting for the good cause, kind of thing. I'm intent on making the changes that need to be done. I am going to look within myself and find out what it is the reason why you've been breaking my heart. I've been breaking my own heart. I'm going to have a look at that. That's my shadow I'm looking at. What is it about myself that I am am hurting, you know, I'm hurting myself in some way. I've broken my own heart in some way because I have been in denial. I have been avoiding. I have been suppressing. I've been pushing my feelings down, my thoughts and feelings about something down about me. Oh no, it's not me, right? And so I'm willing to look at it now. I'm willing to do the work with Eight of Pentacles, and I'm willing to, you know, listen to my inner self speak to me the truth. And there's going to be a lot coming up, because when you start allowing yourself to look into your shadow, there's going to be so much like spiritual downloads, like information coming in, whether you're aware of it or not, but it's going to be coming through your intuition as well. You're going to intuitively know that, and when you want to open your mouth to say something to this person or whatever, suddenly it's going to come in, and you're going to like open your mouth, and you maybe start it to sentence, but then you shut your mouth and you think, oh, okay. And you're going to say, well, what you're going to say? Oh, well, I was going to say something, but I changed my mind, kind of thing. So the Five of Swords is like, it's going to feel like you are fighting an uphill battle, right? With the Four of Cups with this person, because they are showing, they're going to, for the first while, your new, your new strategy, right? For the first while, it's going to look like things are not really working out. Just keep at this, because you may be, you know, going back and forth, one side of the fence to the other side of the fence, or just sitting on the fence at times about really applying what it is that's bothering you about the other person to yourself. So you're going to be in your own self-sabotaging way that is going to show up in your partner or your employer, your job, manager, whatever. It's going to look like you are fighting a losing battle at first, that you're not getting anywhere with them, and they continue to act irresponsible and like they don't give two hoots about how you feel about something. You know, the Four of Cups is like feeling disheartened, dissatisfied. Five of Swords is like sabotage, and if it's with better cards, it would be, I would be looking at this as saying you're doing whatever it takes. You're going to be doing whatever it takes. You may still be doing whatever it takes. However, maybe you're not scratching the surface deep enough, or you just need more patience, more time, more patience with trying to teach your person to come around, to realize that the justice is going to show up one way or another. Either you're going to walk away from this relationship to be able to be in a space because you have been diving into your shadow work, that you're going to meet someone else who, you know, values you, you know, respects you, and you won't have the same problems with them because you're working on your shadow, right? You're working on it. Therefore, you're going to be a lot more open-minded and heart-centered with a new person, being more flexible and accepting of things, you know, behaviors they might have, because you know you're still working on your shadow. Or you're going to stay with this person, and eventually this justice is going to come through with your person. Things are going to balance, right? So your will and their will together. Your will and their will together. Okay? That you're both are working with each other from the intention, a good intention, to do whatever seems to be the right thing to do, so that the other person doesn't feel scared, you know, threatened, like with the money thing. If that was me, I'd be feeling threatened that there's not going to be enough money, and then maybe we'll lose our house, you know, the bank will take the car, just you come up with those kinds of thoughts, right? You feel threatened because things are not moving or showing up financially the way you would want them to, in order for you to feel safe and secure in your household, in everyday life. The Eight of Swords is going to be you're up in your hands and you're keeping yourself really on pins and needles about whether or not this is going to work. This is, regret and remorse. Five of Cups. Is this going to work? And then bada boom, bada bada bing. So either, like I said, you're either leaving this one behind because you're working on your shadow and you've left them because they don't seem to be waking up, that they have shadow work to do too, right? That would be the ideal situation, is that if you love this person, you want to be with them, that they are working on their shadow and taking it seriously. You're working on your shadow, you're taking it seriously. The two of you are being very, very conscious about your wishes and your behaviors, your expectations and behaviors, right? For each other. It's for yourself, of course, but for the other person, so the other person feels safe and secure, that the relationship will be able to overcome all of everything from the past. But if it's not, that your person is refusing to see it, that they've got something that they need to heal as well, it's not just you, that you'll be leaving the relationship, and you will be brought, because you're the Queen of Wands, you will be, the divine will send you, which will be a great big blessing and justice. Okay, the divine is going to send you somebody, an emperor, to you, who in the emperor energy could be husband material for you, or that they've been working on their shadow as well, and they're trying to be the best human being they can possibly be in this lifetime, and they seem to be a really great person that you're very attracted to, as they are attracted to you, because you're the Queen of Wands after all. Yeah, wow, this is amazing, guys. So there's work for you to do that the tarot wants to reveal to you today, your shadow work, and a new way of communicating with your person about the things that they are mirroring back to you, that is within you, that you don't like about yourself, whether you realize that right now or not. They want you to look at it from that perspective and dig deep, so that you can, bring it up to the surface, have a look at it, acknowledge it, and release it with love back to the universe, releasing that belief of yours or that behavior of yours that you want to heal, so that you are no longer being presented by another person, because there are mirrors, right? The other person, especially in an intimate relationship, becomes that mirror that reflects back to us what it is that's going on in us, truly what's going on in us, deeply, psychologically, the subconscious mind stuff. So I hope that this was helpful, and best of luck for you. This was a very deep reading, so take care of yourself, and until next time, bye for now.